Not too long ago, I was in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. They had a big coffee expo. Prudence said, hey, go check out this place. They've got this thing called a fermented coffee. It's really great. So I went to go check it out. But unfortunately, by the time that I got there, they said they were already sold out of it. But luckily, someone that I know was like, hey man, you want one of these? And this is the coffee. It's fermented coffee from a company called Duddells Lewisgene. I spoke to the owner a little bit about trying to understand what it's about. It's a fermented cold brew that does not have alcohol. And I was like, well, that didn't make any sense to me, right? Like when you think about fermenting anything, grapes, any kind of juices, fermentation typically comes with the production of alcohol, and this is a non-alcoholic product. So they said they take the cold brew, they add sugar to it, but it doesn't produce alcohol. And they were a bit coy on the subject, like they weren't really telling much about what their process is. I was a little bit put off by that, you know. And then I started thinking more about it, and I was thinking, okay, well, you know, things like kombucha are fermented products, and they don't necessarily have alcohol content. Like maybe the average kombucha is probably only 3% or less, probably less. Anyway, so I got a little bit of this and I wanted to give it a taste while we're here in Bangkok before I went on the rest of this trip, because I didn't want to have it to go spoiled. I've been keeping it refrigerated for the last several days, and let's get into it. So this is it, fermented coffee, and I'm gonna, whoa. So, wow, that was unexpected. There's a little cap here that I guess keeps in the CO2. So obviously there's something going on in this thing. Got our glass. There's a bit of effervescence. You know, it does smell like regular cold brew. Let's see what we got. It's on the cloudy side. Like, look at this. This is cloudy. Which is a little bit unnerving. Like, should I drink it? I'm a little bit scared. So there's definitely like a... Is there a fermenting smell to it? It's a little bit sharp in the nose. Funky. There's something there. I don't know. It's tart. It kind of tastes like cacao nibs. It's sweet, like it's really sweet. So if there's this much sweetness, and I'm going to presume that this is residual sweetness from the fermentation, then I'm guessing that they're taking the cold brew, adding some kind of sugar to it, adding their yeast or whatever they're using for fermentation, and then ceasing the process of fermentation at some point. So probably just to develop a little bit of this effervescence that we're tasting. A little bit of tartness. A little bit of citric. It's kind of like a citric acid. It's sweet. It's actually quite pleasant. Now, I only poured a little bit in here because actually that's really all you want. Like, I don't think you're going to be taking this and chugging it. It's a bit intense. A little bit of ferment. A little bit of carbon dioxide, sweetness, citrusiness, you know, a bit of acidic bite. There's good complexity, nice body to it. It's a thick, kind of like thick and maybe a little bit juicy, but like you want to. It's quite good. Actually, man, it's quite good. I was a little bit put off, like I said, when they were a little bit coy about what they're doing. I'm going to have a little bit more. But I got to say, this is kind of interesting. It's kind of good. Like, I don't know if I want to drink this whole bottle. I definitely wouldn't want to drink the whole bottle. But just a little bit like this. Maybe my elixir for the evening. A nightcap before bed. Maybe a little thick, sweet, orangey, cacao kind of like beverage to go along with my cigar. Well, that might be good. But just kind of like an aperitif, just something real momentary. Like you're not drinking 12 ounces, you're not drinking 8 ounces, you're drinking maybe 2 ounces at the most. There it is, Duddells Lewisgene, their fermented coffee. Actually surprisingly really good. This is only available in Kuala Lumpur. So if you happen to be going to KL, great. If not, well, sorry. And look what I found here at the hotel. Doubletree cookie. I love it. I love it. A little Doubletree at the back. I've really bought this for my niece because she's really into like baking. But there's part of me that's like, I really should get one for myself.